Hi, this is Lanier Smith from Sense Memory, and I'm going to be reviewing Dior Homme, but in a different format tonight because one of my subscribers by the name of John Smith asked me to read my review that I posted on my blog. So here we go. Her eyes were half closed in her trademark "Let's Make Love" look, with lips which shimmied and shimmered in a lush Max Factor red lipstick. She seemed to be reaching out from the screen and all the way up to the second row in the third balcony of Radio City Music Hall. She was looking at him, and only him. The French are glad to die for love. They delight in fighting duels, but I prefer a man who lives and gives expensive jewels. Jewels? Jewels! Huh? What? He mumbled, half awake, trying to figure out where she went. "You are singing in your sleep again," his wife said, overflowing with 3 a.m. frustration. "Gentlemen may prefer blondes, but I prefer that you didn't do show tunes in the middle of the night." "Sorry, honey," he whispered, and waited. A heavy sigh was her only reply. He took quiet, short breaths until he could hear her low, adnodal snore. He turned over in bed toward the glow streaming through the window of Manhattan after midnight. "Hi!" She was tangled in white sheets and propped up on one elbow right next to him in the bed. "Who's the grumpy tomato? She doesn't like show tunes?" He squinted and then rubbed his eyes. "Oh, well," she said, not in her breathy movie voice, but in her own natural and beautiful voice, a voice melodic, with a hint of melancholy and on the edge of laughter. No, she likes show tunes. It's just that I can't sing." "Nonsense! I think you sing like Frank." "Frank?" "Sinatra, silly." She laughed and pulled the sheet up a little higher over her bosom, lifted her head to the left and looked over his shoulder. "You didn't answer my first question. Who's a tomato?" "Believe me, she's no tomato. She's my wife." Was she really here, he wondered? Did it really matter? Don't question the night, just keep talking. "How did you get in here?" "I don't know." She looked up at the sleep-tossed lock of champagne blonde hair hanging down over her right eye. With a crooked kiss, she blew it back into its cinemascope-ready place. "I just turned over, and here you are." "Me too." His eyes wandered slightly. "Don't you have anything on?" She wiggled her shoulders and lifted and gifted him with that sleepy, half-lidded smile. "Just this sheet and some perfume." They talked until the sky began to brighten. At 6:30, the alarm went off, and he woke up slightly dazed and a little dazzled. His wife moaned. She hit the buzzer, and then he hit the shower. While dressing for the office, he remembered her from the night before and smiled. What a strange and somehow lovely dream it had been. He absently picked a white Brooks Brothers shirt from where it lay folded with the others in the cedar closet. There it was, as real as sunlight and twice as lovely. A red lipstick kiss on the backside of the collar. He put the shirt on. He could almost feel her lips brush the back of his neck. For the rest of the day he could smell the luscious Max Factor red lipstick kiss from Marilyn Monroe. Dior Homme is a man's fragrance, famous for its lipstick-on-your-collar smell that trails and lingers about a man's neck like the playful fingers of a beautiful woman. When you first put it on, it entwines into your hair and runs along the pulse points of the body in a warm, sensuous touch that is both sexy and enticing. The amazing thing is how simply masculine it is, and what it's all about is the iris that is falling in love with a man's skin. The fragrance opens with a dry hill sage smell warmed by summer sun. This is layered over by a bright bergamot, citrus zing, and a clean, fresh lavender. This hangs around for a very short time, just setting you up for the main players. From deep in the bass, a smooth, refined leather note that encases the middle notes like finely made Dior handbag. Yes, it smells a bit like the inside of a woman's purse, and in that purse is a right, rich, lush, and powdery scent of makeup. This aroma specifically reminds me of the old Max Factor pancake makeup my mother used to wear in the 1950s and 60s. The makeup scent is carried off by the iris, which is huge but not overbearing. Then, with the addition of the cacao, there comes a waxy, sensual lipstick smell, which is enriched with a very deep and luxe amber. It is so well designed that I find myself sniffing my wrist repeatedly in the first of many hours of long wear. I know what you're thinking. Lipstick? Makeup? Masculine? How can that be? It all is in the base, where the testosterone resides and pumps relentlessly up into the fragrance, giving it a more masculine edge. Vetiver, all rooty and rough, mixes it up with a punch-drunk patchouli. These boys hit a dry down with the aforementioned and long-lasting leather. The three carry Dior Homme into a lingering finale. At this point, I found that from time to time it would on occasion rise up to envelop me, as if my body heat had revived it from the dead long after I thought it was finished. Dior Homme surprised me. I originally bought it to use as a layering scent, something to give oomph and panache to more understated scents, like, for instance, Dior's Bois d'Argent. That is a stunning combo, by the way, created by my friend Dior fragrance specialist Hilary Randall. But what I found is that this fragrance, which is much dearly loved by the online fragrance community, is a stunning standalone beauty. It is complex in its simplicity, chic and sleekly masculine in its style. And it says something. That something is, I am Dior Homme. Women love to wear me, but they love me even more when you wear me. Dior Homme, 5 gold stars. This is Lanier Smith, and remember, wear what you love, not what they say you should like.